Hi, my name is Chris Melnick, and I'm a realtor in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Today, I'm going to talk about bare land condos and the HRM. If you're from out of the area, you may be unfamiliar with bare land condos. They exist in Nova Scotia and are basically a loophole to get around subdivision rules. But you can think of it like a subdivision. Here's the concept. Say you have a big piece of land that you want to build a whole bunch of detached homes on to sell individually. And the lot is approved for multiple dwelling units. So you can't just do this on any lot, but you can on a surprising amount of lots in Nova Scotia. Now, you could subdivide, but as you may have seen in my zoning video, two key things you need for subdivision are a certain amount of frontage on the road and then a minimum size of lot. If you don't have both of those, you can't subdivide. Now, a number of very obscure exceptions do apply, but this is true for nearly all cases. Also, even if you meet the minimum frontage for each lot, it may just not be suitable to build a home on. Sometimes being close to a body of water, wetland, or a neighbor's well really causes distancing issues, and you physically can't put a septic system in a smaller lot. Frontage is typically the biggest stumbling block, though. You could be asking, well, why don't you just build your own road? Then you'll have plenty of frontage on each lot. Here's the thing. You used to be able to build private roads relatively easily for this purpose to subdivide. But the rules changed on January 22nd, 2004. You can't subdivide off of private roads that existed after January 22nd, 2004. This is why you can see some pretty strange older private roads with homes on them. Some of them are only 1 car width wide and resemble abandoned alleys. They were all made before January 22nd, 2004, and those lots that front that private road were grandfathered in. When they changed the rules around new roads and greatly demanded much higher standards, it made it very expensive to build new roads solely for the purpose of subdivision. It's still done, but since it adds a lot of cost to each lot, it's only done in more expensive new neighborhoods. After January 22nd, 2004, though, people still wanted a cheaper option to build homes on land. So bare land condos became much more popular, even though they were first allowed in the Condominium Act amendments of the year 2000. Now, a bare land condo allows you to build a less expensive road to lower standards, but still decent, create much smaller lots than you would have otherwise been able to, and have a shared well and septic system. With subdivided lots, you can have shared wells, but not septic systems. A bare land condo can be created for any or all of these reasons. It can be common to see these close to lakes or oceans because waterfront land is expensive, so they want to create as many lots as possible. And if you've seen my well and septic video, you'd know that you can encounter issues close to a body of water. So with bare land condos, they're able to have one main well and one main septic system in a part of the property that works and have it service all the lots. Now, from that description, it sounds like condos are their own little town, community, or entity. And that would also be a good way to think about the type of ownership, which is probably one of the most differentiating factors of owning a condo. Because when you own a typical or traditional home, it's on its own lot that you own, and the lot has its own PID or property identification number. Whereas bare land condo ownership is also a form of shared ownership. You would own your unit, which has its own PID. You would then share the ownership of the common elements like the road and accessory buildings. That entire parcel would also have its own PID. This could seem very confusing if you're ever on Explore HRM or Viewpoint and it looks like a home is just on one really big lot. But then you look closer to discover there are many other homes there too. That part is shared. And that's just the way bare land condos are displayed on those systems. So that's what it is and why they do it. But what does it look like? First, it's not like a skyscraper condo building that you may be thinking of. From the outside, it can look just like a normal street of detached homes. But here are some differences. First, since it's a private road, it's plowed and maintained by the owners, not the municipality. Next, a very important point is that it'll have condo fees to pay for the communal services, like the road, well and septic, and sometimes even the exterior maintenance repairs of each structure itself. This can vary from project to project. You, of course, pay for this in the form of your condo fees, so those ones are going to be higher than other condos with less services, but this can be very valuable if you just don't want to deal with those sorts of issues and just want to pay for it. Finally, should you buy a bare land condo? My answer is possibly. Like most of my answers, it depends. On the plus side, in essence, they're created to be cheaper. So they're cheaper to buy, but they're also worth less than homes on their own lots when it comes time to sell. Next, there are often more rules that govern the community, just like a condo building, which can be restrictive of what you do there and how the home looks. Some people love this order and uniformity though. And finally, because you're tied into a community of other homes, your redevelopment potential is limited, just like I mentioned in my Fundamentals of Value video. So your appreciation is likely going to be less than if you just had a normal lot. For many people though, it represents the best of both worlds to them. The ability to have their own separate home with privacy, a cheaper cost to buy, and not having to be responsible for a lot of the maintenance and repairs that you'd otherwise need to do. Some oceanfront bare land condo communities seem like something out of a fairy tale. And that's bare land condos. Like always, I hope you got some value out of this video. My contact information is in the description. Goodbye.